All righty. Thanks for being here tonight. Liked how we defended down the stretch, last 20 minutes, 15 or so. So that's kind of what won it for us, allowed us to pull away. So that was good to see. More solid. Got used to a couple things. They were driving us a little bit early in the first half, and on some things that we've been working on, and still not getting it quite right. We call it dribble pitches, a little weave action, penetrate and kick. So we've got to do a better job in that area, and I thought we did second half, so that was good to see. So give them credit. We found a way to get it done defensively, rebounding wise. Got all of our defensive goals, our standards, so that's a good sign. Offensively, just not very good early, and and it wasn't like missing shots. It's just our decision making wasn't great as good as that had been. And then obviously you go from 29 to 5 assist to turnovers, then you come there. So that's the disappointing part. So we know we can do it, but we didn't, and we've got work to do, as everybody does this time of year. So that's what I told our guys. We'll be off tomorrow. We've got Sunday, Monday to play on Tuesday, but we got to get better. A little disappointed in our offensive flow, but we didn't handle a couple of things right. And then second half they changed defense a little bit, and really the first time we've seen that. Hopefully you probably got to see it before you get really good at it a couple times. So that slowed us down a little bit. So I think their defensive ball screen coverage was different than what they did in the first game. We adjusted to it, but I don't think we adjusted well enough to it, as we told them right away what they're doing, and I don't think we made the decisions necessary. So a lot of shots that were not in bad drives. That's how you get 14 turnovers, and that's how you shoot 3 of 10, 5 of 14. I mean, you just add in a couple bad ones, and it's good. So I guess the disappointing part is that you go from 29 to 5, and then you end up with 15 and 14 the next day. So improvement to be done.
There's a sequence there about 6.5, 7 minutes left in the second half where Ernest gets a steal, leads to a transition bucket. He keeps his feet planted, gets a 3-second violation. Just how is that a point of emphasis about turning that defense into a transition offense? And how good was it to see, even though things hadn't been going your way?
Yeah. I guess we've been doing it for the last 2 years. That is an emphasis. In case I've been working on a little bit. I guess if you haven't noticed, Jamie, I guess I've been doing a bad job. But I'll go. I guess that's why I'll be in the office watching film all night tonight. But it wasn't. I thought our opportunities, we just weren't good enough in opportunities. I'm going to go figure it out. I thought we overpenetrated some. I just didn't think we had the right guys handling the ball too. I thought that was a part of it, but there were some good ones. But certainly not enough. And you're right, it wasn't as good as it's been, and we got to get back to it. And I thought that was kind of first half. We didn't make those decisions. Second half, we got slowed down by the 1-3-1, and then the we call it 33, the 3/4 court press, and heard it on the back end a couple times, but we were just too. Stationary, too slow. Stationary wouldn't be the correct word, but just too slow, and our didn't get what we wanted to do. So we haven't practiced against it a lot. The 1-3-1, but that's the problem with that thing. Every once in a while, somebody's going to throw it in there. We knew they were going to do it. We just, probably it's on me. We should have practiced against it more in the 2 days. I guess we had. We just found out they did it.
How hard is it this time of year, especially in the transfer portal era, to balance needing to work on things, wanting to get better, with wanting to let guys get comfortable and learn how to just kind of play basketball together?
Well, I think that's what we're trying to do from day one. So, it's. Everybody talking. It's every article's got to have a transfer portal paragraph in there. But we start. I'm mad at myself. I had enough time. I had 82 practices with them, 82 workouts. We should have been, we got to be better. But we're not going to be great every day. So I'm not going to be that guy that blames many mistakes on the transfer portal. If we weren't good enough, we didn't play well enough together, it's because I didn't have them ready to play well enough. Because we played really well the last game. So you'd think 2 days later we'd be even better. But, it was different. It was different, and give Gulf Coast, they're a more physical team, and I think also they responded because they lost a tough game the other day. They were up, had a chance, and he got away from him at the end. I think they responded. It's kind of how we kind of responded from a scrimmage loss, I think. So I give them credit. I should have done that first. But I'm not gonna. I know everybody's. I'm not gonna say the transfer portal is we had 70 practices before Arkansas workouts, and it's an hour, but it's a good for a lot of those. We had plenty of time since then. I think we've had, I guess, Melissa, you got me on a tangent here now, but we have 70 practices before Arkansas. I think we're at like 90 practices in one game. 90 practices in one game. We've got enough time together.
Well, I think even less about the mistakes and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But more about learning when to let guys go and when to kind of rein them in. You know, as it.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I feel pretty comfortable with that. I feel pretty comfortable with that. We were trying to go. We were playing too slow. We were playing way too slow offensively. And the three-quarter court press had something to do with the 1-3-1 had something to do with that. And I got to look in the first half. I don't know why it was in the first half. I don't know why it was first. I thought we had the ball in the wrong hands. I thought we over penetrated. So I think that was it. And it's just sometimes it's not going to be there too. I mean, things got to go your way too. I mean, and you know, it might be part of it too. Long rebounds, don't go rebounds in the corner down the baseline instead of getting long rebounds, you know, or deflections and steals. You know, we had a scrimmage earlier. We forced a bunch of turnovers, but they're all dead ball turnovers. So we're walking it all the time. You know, we're walking it up. So. You know, those. You know, I wish it could follow the script I write up the day before, but it doesn't always go quite like that, and it didn't go like that time. But what I liked is how we responded defensively in the second half, especially down the stretch.
You had Mike Robinson in there in crunch time minutes. What did you see out of him tonight? How'd you like how he did?
You know, I don't know. I've said it before. We've got 5 guys, and they just have no one's separated themselves. I mean, those spots, so you're probably going to, 80 practices, they still haven't separated themselves. So it could be any guy. And we have different lineups. We've started different lineups pretty much I think we started the same one this time, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start a different one. The 5 forwards, what I will say is they've really challenged each other. What I like about them, and I've really stressed it, is defensively, all 5 have been pretty good. All 5 have been pretty good, and that's rare. And they're all right there. Our guards got to be better defensively. I thought they played a little better. But those 5 guys, it's interesting. There's not much separation. Defensively, now especially, Trey's gotten better defensively. And then Micah, neither one, none of the 5 have shot it great in the scrimmages and in what we've done. So, you know, but if they defend a rebound, which they're doing a pretty good job of that, and take care of the basketball, which they hadn't done a pretty good job of, I think our problems offensively today weren't really their problems. I thought our guards got to be better. So, but like Micah does everything right. That's why I like him. And at the same time, you know, we got to see how this thing works out. 5 of them playing. We could have played somebody at the 2 a little bit more minutes, but we didn't do that today. That's what we got to figure out.
You said before Monday that you were going to be working on rotations for a little while, and you just talked about the wings separating.
I don't think we're going to have rotations with those 5 guys. I mean, it's been 80 days.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is Micah came in a little earlier than Isaiah did in game 1, and just what do you see, you know, from those guys tonight with maybe a little bit of different lineup combinations on the floor than you did from game 1?
I tell you, the 5, there's not much difference. I mean, you're trying to get some out. There's not much difference. They're all defending well, which I'm very excited about. They're all defending well. So that's first and foremost. I mean, you know, it's whoever makes some shots seems to be the difference. And right now, none of them really been making shots. I've been making them practice to a degree. Probably Brennan's been the best, but Micah shot it well too. But you know, no one played great there at those spots offensively. Unless I'm missing something here. we're a work in progress, as is everybody at this time. And again, I guess don't read too much into. I'll let you know when one guy's really separating themselves. You'll know. I've been waiting for it. If it doesn't happen, they have Trey's really stepped up defensively. Micah's been surprisingly good for a freshman. Brendan's been solid. Jace has always been one of our best, and Isaiah, well, he was out for a while, but he's been our best rebounder out of that spot, which is part of defense. So again, that's where we're at. We're at 5 guys, and that's our. I want to make it a strength, not a weakness.
Talked about rebounding. You were plus 14 tonight on the boards with 12 offensive rebounds. I know that's always been a point of emphasis for you, something that I have picked up on. But just what did you think of the effort tonight?
I thought. I mean, the numbers were good. It was interesting on the 2 scrimmage and the exhibition. I was shocked at our rebound numbers, and it didn't make sense. That we were forcing a lot of turnovers in both games, and that had something to do with it. But it's good. It's good. The last 2 games where our numbers have gotten better, and we forced some turnovers as well. But our defense was key. We'll be highly efficient on defense this game, which is what you want to do. Better probably than the last game we played. And our offense was just not on par with it. So the rebounding. I was just shocked the first 2 games. There was some things I could made some sense. But we should be a good. I mean, like all those guys rebound pretty well. Those forwards, Ernest and Punch are good rebounders. We've really emphasized to our guards to be better. They've got to get 10 between them. I don't think they got it today. Let's see, 3-3, and we got 10. They got 10 from the 3 of them. So that's why we did it. So the guards were probably in the 2 games. That was probably the biggest thing that stood out in the rebounding. Those 3 guys didn't rebound well enough, and they have the last 2 games. So that's got to be a big part of it. I'm a little worried about it because we're a little small at the guards. How that's going to play out, but they're competitive, they're tough, and we just got to hold them accountable on that rebounding number on that. So 10's pretty much a good standard for that spot. That's kind of what I've always had. So,
Any last question for good?
What did you see as the biggest difference between the end of the game when you guys started to get the offense moving versus the beginning when you said you felt?
I think the defense, we got out running more, and even though our breaks weren't great at the end, I gotta go look at it. It didn't. Our offense didn't flow today. I mean, it wasn't as good as it has been, and I think, to be honest, they started missing some shots, and I think they just got. We got some breakaways. The press break is what we got a couple of them at the end of it, so that was good. We attacked it, but I think early on we weren't attacking it well enough. So I think they got maybe a little gambled a little bit more, and then that opened it up for us. So, but that's what you got to do. You got to take advantage of those opportunities. But we need to have lower turnovers and higher shooting percentage, and our shooting percentage is based on our shot selection. So I think we attacked the press a couple times. That was it. Hit a couple open threes, which we hadn't done, and that just makes the difference. So, it was good. But I thank y'all, and we'll go work on it right now, and as everybody's trying to get better for that next one. So, and big football game tomorrow, and big weekend, and so looking forward to that.
Cool. Thanks,
All right, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Thanks, good.